Здравствуйте, comrades. Recently, on a Facebook thread, for a joke, I said, what would you most like me to do my next YouTube video on? And then, in a facetious moment of overexuberance, I jokingly suggested the mating habits of Platypi. And then that was voted by everybody to be the one thing that they wanted me to talk about. I am going to do something that is more relevant in about 25 minutes. That was the next best thing, but it was the second best thing by quite a long way. People really, really wanted to stick me with this. And there's no way that I'm going to say that I would talk about the mating habits of Platypi and not talk about them. So here we go. They're actually, it's platypuses. It's not Platypi. This is important business. They're found mainly in Eastern Australia and Southeastern Australia and Tasmania, but they have been introduced to Kangaroo Island as invaders. Platypus is a monotreme, which means it is a mammal that lays eggs. It's not a marsupial because it doesn't put its babies in a tiny little pouch and then carry it around. Platypus mating season is from June until October, and they reach sexual maturity at 2 years old. That's both the males and the females. In preparation for the upcoming mating season, the testes in platypus males begin to swell. Platypus looks like a duck, an otter, a beaver, and has elements that are sort of a little bit reptilian, like a snake or a lizard, all sort of mashed together. I think they're quite cute. Male platypuses have spurs on their back legs that are filled with a toxic venom. This venom can also be used as a defense mechanism against predators, but its predominant usage is to fight off other competing males. Once he has wrapped his legs around a competing male and then shot his venom into that competing male is paralyzed and forced to watch as he then goes away and begins his artful seduction of the female. In order to win over the female, he engages in the most disgusting display of Western decadence I have ever seen or heard of in my life. He does this by cuddling, by bill nuzzling, by circling her in the water, by swimming over her, under her, and next to her. He then uses his bill to bite her on the tail repeatedly. At points, he places all of her tail all the way inside of his bill mouth. She naturally cannot resist the nuzzling, the swimming, and the tail biting. The female signals that she is ready by putting down her kebab and her bottle of white lightning, looking over her shoulder and saying to the male, "Go on then, mate, give us a root." He responds by biting her tail. She lets him know that she's truly ready by biting his tail. After all this swimming in circles and biting one another's tails, they are truly the peak of their arousal. They have unusual reproductive organs. They have something a word that I've just learned called a cloaca, and that's a single body opening that is both for removing waste and for reproduction. So when they're not mating in the water, they actually are sidelined as bin men, which is handy. Useful contributors to society. When they are mating, a penis comes out of a sac near the male's cloaca. Male will bite the female's neck, hold her down, and insert his penis into her cloaca. Mating usually occurs in the water with the help of some submerged object. Pretty kinky right from the get-go, like a piece of wood or large rock. Nasty. After mating, the two will hang out together for about an hour. They're not romantic types, during which more mating may occur. They may as well. And then the male will leave to find a new mate. Oh, what a sweet story. Because they mate with multiple partners, platypus are considered polygamous. Now that the deed is done, the female is left to raise her babies alone. She digs a den and eventually will seal herself inside before she lays her eggs. Thanks, guys, for putting me in the position of having to do a video on the mating habits of platypuses. Very grateful for that opportunity. I shall be back in 20 minutes to talk about lack of motivation and procrastination in CPTSR. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you found that truly life-changingly useful.